Soulful Stimulation here on IntellectualRadio.com. With me, your girl, your host, the one and only. Yes, me, yours truly, Chevelle Simone. I'm on the throne of this microphone today, here on my new day and time. Monday night, I'm going to do you right at 7 p.m. Yes, y'all. I'll be elation with Chevelle Simone on IntellectualRadio.com, where we stream it live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we're doing you right. I know it's tight, but it's going to be right. That's what the church say. I know it's tight, but it's all right. All right, so we're here at 7 o'clock p.m., and we're here to help you with your soul and get your soul right. So praise God for his gift of life, love, and prosperity. And he said in his word that he wishes, Paris, he said, I wish above all things. He said above, don't mix it up. He said above all things that you will prosper and be in good health, even as your what? Soul prosper. So you're here on Soulful Stimulation. So your soul can prosper. Our souls can prosper more and more. So come on, somebody. Let's help everybody here on IntellectualRadio.com, where we maintain to feed your brain 24 hours, 7 days a week. Yes, it's IntellectualRadio.com, y'all. You can reach us at 708-223-8953 for all your needs, whether it's for your mind, your body, and your soul. We are here to make you whole. We're here to feed your brain, help you maintain, get your soul right, get your mind right, or whatever it is we can do for you. It's going to be another great show to encourage you, motivate you, and stimulate your soul here on Soulful Stimulation. I have a wonderful guest here. My friend and my sister is back. My God. You know, when people are busy, you got to track them down because they got their own show. They got their own platform. Whoa. Yes.
So funny.
Gotta track it down. Hey, Paris girl.
Hey, girl. How are you?
I'm good. Honey, you been in Paris or something?
Listen. I'm trying to stay busy. I'm trying to, when you're amongst great people, you want to stay on the same pace. So I'm trying to keep up with you.
Girl, ain't nothing but great people here on IntellectualRadio.com.
That's what I'm saying. I'm in good company.
You better know what you heard. You better forget what you heard and know what you know, okay? Over here on this west side. Listen.
Yes.
How have you been doing?
I'm amazing.
Amazing.
Busy, but amazing.
Good. And it looks like you're so well put together, like nothing has been happening. That's why we're going to talk about this self-care today. Listen, guys, self-care is not just your hair. Self-care is not just your nails.
Not at all.
Self-care is not just a massage.
No.
All right, we're going to go all the way into like that song say, I got something for your mind, your body, and your soul. Every day of my life. Every day of my life. Help me, girl.
Don't get me
started. Come on, let me give you some more.
Don't get the house on.
Hey.
That's that solidarity. You already know I know. Okay, that's what you know.
So we want to help y'all today. I got a little cold going on, but listen. Before we get started, I want to say hello to my beautiful girl. When you meet somebody beautiful, oh my God, don't you just think about them all the time? I ain't talking about no man.
No, just a beautiful soul.
Listen,
yeah,
my God, can we hang the men up for a second?
Yep.
Girl, I met my sister, my friend on yesterday, Miss Mary Thomas. Hey, girl, over in Bolingbrook, I just love you, and she know what I mean when I say, girl, I'm so happy. And she probably said the same thing. I'm so happy too. She is so gorgeous, so sweet. I met her through her daughter, who is like my daughter, Brooke. And I think we need to learn how to be. They say women are receivers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to learn how to be good receivers. Sometimes we think we know it all. But just be a good listener, and a good receiver. Mm-hmm. And she said so many things yesterday, and it was probably felt like it was little to her or little to others, but she said so many things to me yesterday that just calmed my spirit. It just brought so much peace. And I was just laughing because I was like, oh, she's just like me and I'm just like her. And it was just so wonderful. So I love you so much, Mary. I love you so much. Thank you for coming to my life. Thank you for showing me so much love, so much joy, and just being a great communicator. I just love the love that, people just got love. Like when I first met you, the love was there.
Yeah. when
What's wrong with our sisters?
when you find that, you just appreciate it because you know
Yes.
that it's not always everywhere you go. So when you get it, it's like it's you could almost like a breath
Breath
of
of
fresh
fresh
air.
air. Breath of
Yeah.
fresh air. And speaking of breaths of fresh air, what is this new journey, like this newfound journey that you're on that has brought you such a breath of fresh air?
Well, it's funny because on my show, um, well, first of all, I have a movement I call "You Are Enough." That's a
Mhm.
thing that I do at
Mhm.
the end of my show. That's how I sign off. I let everybody know you are enough. Just to understand that you don't have to do more, you don't have to be more. Literally, what you are, as you are, you're enough, and that's like important to me to make sure people know. And so on the weekends, I always say, "Hey, do something nice for yourself. Do some form of self care." And I just always do this, right? Because I don't know, I just do that. And
One time you said, do something nice for yourself that feels good to you. Remember
absolutely,
that?
absolutely.
Yes.
Because sometimes, especially if it's women or just anybody that's a giver, you tend to make sure everybody else is okay, and you don't necessarily take care of you. And so I always promote this self care. But something clicked in me the other day. And I said, why is it if we really love ourselves as much as we say we do? Why do I have to remind, or why do we have to be reminded to do self care? Okay. I think everybody subconsciously know that self-care is good, right? We talk it. And this is something I've been working on lately. I'm tired of the cliche or us saying things and not actually applying it or living it, right? And so that's all of us, right? We all have things we know it's good. Like I know it's good to go to the gym. Have I been? Not yet. No, but that's okay. I know it and I'm working on that part of me, right? But with self-care, I feel like it's so many of us that we don't actually do it regularly, and we almost treat it as it's a luxury, okay, or it's optional. And for me, I treated it as such, and I started to realize that the advice I was giving everybody I wasn't taking for myself. And I said, wait, I don't want to be a hypocrite, but let's dig deeper. It's one thing to know you need it. It's another thing to understand why you're not doing it. And so this journey I'm on is realizing that self-care is more than a spa day. It's more than a nail appointment. It's more than getting a massage, but it's literally the expression of self-love and self-worth. And when you have it, when you are practicing it, and it's a gift, and it's not optional. And that's what this journey is about. I want to take self care from being a transactional thing to being a regimen.
Okay. Now, I love that you said that because it brings me to something that I always talk about. If you can't love yourself, you can't love me.
That's real.
Listen, all this that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a size 12 here,
Mm.
16 right here, 18, then back here, I'm a 44. Listen, we got all these sizes going on, and we got to wear the one size fit all. Now,
Mm-hmm.
one thing that the one size do fit all
Mm-hmm.
is love.
Yes.
Because you cannot love me if you don't love yourself. Because the Bible says, I keep on saying it's not a Christian show,
Yep.
but because the Holy Ghost is in me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
listen, the Bible said, love thy neighbor as yourself. So if you treat me some way, I'm like, oh, she don't love herself. Because you wouldn't have did that to me, bub kitty.
But that's real. And honestly, the reason people tripped up on it is because we say these things, but we don't really apply it. You, I want to love you as I love myself, but I might be loving you how I love me.
See?
Hear that?
Mm-hmm.
I might think I'm loving you right because I'm not loving me right. And that's the part. That's
My
the part
God, because the
we
man on
have
the
we
man
have
on
to
the
be
radio,
honest.
he said, if loving you is wrong, hey, look, I know all the songs. I grew up in it. I don't want to be right.
But see, and that's the thing. I think that we conceptualize the word love way too much. And I feel like if we do a deep dive, and this is really what this is about, self-care, because to me, self-care is, I got a whole list. It's not just spa days and getting your nails done and going to get your hair done. It's it's putting up boundaries, healthy boundaries.
Yes.
It's learning to say no sometimes. It's learning to have people around you that's going to pour into you and not just take all the time. It's learning to be able to get a full night rest. I mean, that might sound simple to somebody, but it's some people who haven't slept well in a very long time. Okay. It's learning to take care of this thing we call a temple, right? It's not even about how you look, but it's about taking care of who you are. It's about, maybe going out and taking a walk in the sun and getting some fresh air. All of those things are parts of self care. Why? Because it feeds you.
And I like that because you just touched on something. Now, I have to love myself by the way I eat.
All of it.
All of it.
Yes.
So treat yourself.
You.
And I like that because you just touched on something. Now, I have to love myself by the way I eat.
All of it.
All of it.
Yes.
So treat yourself right by the way you eat. I'm gonna tell you another thing. Self-care can be your circle.
Well, it's relational. That's what I said. You be careful about who you have in your space. I tell people,
for me, I need a break.
Listen. When it comes down, we make self-care this luxury, and I really want us to get out of that. I want us to get to a point where our self-worth, our self-love, our identity is so intact that we say, it's not optional if I take care of me. It's not that I put myself at the end of the list after I take care of all these people. The airplane, I fly all the time. And I remember I used to get really confused when I heard it at first. But you know how they tell you on the little instructions that when the mask come on or something happen, put your mask on first before you put anybody else's mask on. I used to think that was crazy because I'm like, I'm going to put the mask on the kids first or the elderly person first if something going on, right? And they said no, because if you don't survive and you lose oxygen, you can't help them. And when I tell you that epiphany hit me in my chest, I can't help you. I can't help anybody effectively until I make sure I'm secure first.
And how do you feel about one of my big self-care things that I've been doing this year, and I've been really practicing really, really hard, intentionally hard within the last 90 days.
Okay.
Guarding my heart.
That's a big
because
one.
I don't like the stress, the anxiety, panicking, the toxicity. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm not the girl. So I have stepped back from people. I'm in a cocoon somewhere. I'm at my own business. People been like, "Where you been?" I've been right here.
But you know what? That's really intact with everything we're talking about, because when you love you, like I said, and you really get to the essence of a thing, you understand that I can't even be a service to you until I'm fully stocked. And a lot of times the reason why we get so depleted is because we're pouring from an empty cup. And then we get mad at the people that deplete us when I have to tell people all the time, no one's gonna be your self advocate. And I need to say that again. I need y'all to hear that. Nobody's gonna be your advocate. And I know somebody said, no, I have my girlfriend or my mama or my sister or my husband or my wife. They all love me. They gonna do the best they can for me. They make sure I do. No one is going to advocate for you 100% like they need to. Not because they don't love you, but because guess what? Nobody's a mind reader. They don't really know what you need. I could sit here and talk to you every day, and you could have a toe that hurt. I mean, just give you an example, and you never tell me about. But I'm talking about this thing. This joker hurt, and it's to the point where you almost have gotten used to the pain. Why am I using this analogy? Because I might get your hair done. I might buy you some food. But if you never tell me about this toe pain that you have, that not because you're trying to keep it from me, but because you are almost numb to that pain, and something happens, and all of a sudden it's like you got to get your toe amputated. They're like, what happened? What happened? It's not because I didn't love you enough. I need y'all to hear that. It's not because I didn't love you enough. It's because I didn't really know everything about you. So now we have to take that responsibility out of the hands of our loved ones and put it back where it belongs, is on us. I can't expect you to know every pain I have. I can't expect you to know all my needs, and it's not fair of me. Remember I talked about silent expectations last time? We can't do that. It's not fair. So sometimes we have to be our own advocate. And so I need to know, you see this water bottle? It's right here right now. But I need to know if my water bottle is getting down here, I need to be aware of it right when it's getting about here, that I need to start filling it up. And I can't get mad at somebody asking me for a drink of water when they're depleted. And I'm like, don't they know I'm depleted? Shouldn't they be able to see? Shouldn't they see I'm depleted? And you get mad at them. But no, you should get mad at them. You should get mad at yourself if you don't say, no, I don't have enough. And not right now. I'm sorry, I don't have enough right now. And not feeling guilty about that.
And that's where rest come in.
Absolutely.
Getting your rest
Mm-hmm.
and self-reflection at night is so good. I know if you go to bed, I try to be in the bed, like in the bed, y'all, in the bed. And you know, my son got me the Apple Watch, which tell my phone, "Do not disturb." So
At the
you can't
same
even
time.
you can't even get me. I didn't even know this was going on. I know, you know, but
Yeah.
he brought in the self care,
Yeah.
and so the the thing I want to get is this rest. If I'm getting into bed at 8:30,
Mm-hmm.
and I know I'm going at 8:30, so sometimes I do 8:28, and I'm like, I'm in the bed. So I want to do some reflection. If you know you're that person that go to sleep right away, get into bed 10 minutes before and do a self reflection. That's self care too.
The journaling, I speak heavily about journaling because this comes from somebody that didn't like to write at all. I did not like to write. I ran from it. I used to always say, I'm not a creative. I don't know how to do this. I don't just wake up and want to write. It's not something that came naturally to me. I didn't wake up saying I want to write. Some people like that. They're very therapeutic for them. And they're like, oh, I write and it feels good. So if it's therapeutic for you, yes, do that. Like, just do it regularly and consistently. But for those like that were like me, that didn't see a benefit, or I didn't like it, or I didn't think that I want to do it, it was a chore to me. Let me tell you something. When you start that thing, when you just start allowing yourself to write, sometimes it pours out the things in your heart that you didn't even realize you wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can talk. I don't know if y'all can tell. I know you can talk, but I can talk too. Okay, so that's not a problem for me. Never been a problem.
Communication is key.
Oh, communication. But then I also learned there were certain things I just didn't say. Let's talk about it. Some stuff
Mm-hmm.
that you don't say out loud, maybe because of your conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught to be respectful.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught to not really step on feet.
Poise.
Absolutely. I was taught that, you don't say anything ugly. But then the honest part is there's some things that you need to just get out.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's not, and I'm not in a position to say it out loud. God even showed me, and I don't even go there, but He showed me that I can write it down and it'll be safe to get it out, to write it down and say, okay, it's out
Because
now.
sometimes you need to see it.
You
If you write it, you're gonna see it.
and listen, I mean, and that's necessary. So that's definitely a big part of self care. I really believe it is.
So I want to go to Facebook. I posed a question. I said, "Hey, family." I call them family.
Yes.
When it comes to self care, is it a luxury or necessity? What does it include? Why do you have to have it? So, my little sister Latoya Rice, hey girl, I so love her. She's another one I got to get on this show, girl.
Yes.
I say, hey, she say, hey, it's a lifestyle for me, and the reason is because the reason it's a lifestyle because I noticed that with all the chaos that was happening with COVID, hidden in the changes with school, ministry, taking care of home, being a wife and bills, etc., I was losing sight of myself and goals. It was crazy. So now I make myself a priority. I take care of me first, especially after I have devotion time, prayer, and worship with God. I do my hair, my makeup, keep my workout routines, and I walk. Okay?
I saw that. I love that. They gave some really great answers, and
Yes.
that's all that is amazing.
BC Roots Cheney, hey sugar. She say, now she's a coach as well.
Okay.
She say, if we lose sight of caring for ourselves, it will only trickle down. As Black folk, we are always hustling more than doing the necessary things to take care of ourselves and our mental state. And I want to talk about our mental state as well.
Mm-hmm.
Shantae Pender said, self-care is very important and it is necessary. The mind and body need to be on one accord and function together. Latasha Friday, who I had on my action figure, had on the other week, she said self-care is necessary. Always. It includes overall health, physically and mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Massages, a daily workout regimen, healthy eating, loving relationships, relaxation time, girl time, shopping therapy,
Yeah.
time with your family and friends, daily devotion and talk prayer with God. Okay, Deborah Stronamore Jones says self care is absolutely a necessity. So a lot of people believe it's a necessity. I'm hearing you guys. It is holistic. Love it, honey.
That's it.
It is holistic. It
Yes.
involves caring for your spirit,
Yes.
your
Mine.
mind, and your body.
Yes.
If you neglect one or the other will suffer.
Yes.
If you neglect one,
Mm-hmm.
the other will suffer. Come on, Deborah.
That's
For
it.
for me, all three involve my relationship with God. My spirit needs to be cared for by studying God's word, so I can put it into practice in my daily life. I love it. Linda Robinson says, I get a massage once a month, nails every 2 weeks, and I go to the barber shop every 2 weeks for a haircut. It means I am taking care of myself and helping me to feel good about appearance. Janae McKnight. Now, I told Janae that I was going to bring hers up because I was like, oh my God, this sounds like what I do at night.
Mm-hmm.
She said it's a necessity, sister. It includes time to clear your mind, release every anxious thought, and to do something that totally relaxes you in mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
I have to have it so that peace continues to rule in my spirit. Also, to help me refocus on my purpose. That's my night thing. I have to bring Chevelle in sometimes.
Yeah.
Chevelle be out there. I'm in the bed.
Pull her back
She's
in.
still somewhere else.
Listen.
Because if that kitchen ain't clean, girl, I'm getting back up.
Listen.
So then we have Marquetta Ratcliffe. This is my number one fan. Miss Ratcliffe is my fan, y'all. She's the number one fan. I got to give it to her. That's my girl. That is my girl. She says self-care is necessary. Hair, nails, massages. Sidebar, I personally do all of these things for myself and by myself, unless it's with a very special, unless it's a very special, I thought she said person. I was say, girl, who you got?
Sorry.
She said, unless it's a very special occasion. For shopping for clothes is necessary, but shopping for meal planning, I like that too.
Okay.
It is. Yes, it has become my priority because I'm trying different dishes on a regular basis. Now, Marquita. Now I'm signing up with Pastor Rob Lee from Culture.
Okay, you said
Culture
okay.
Restaurant in
Yeah.
Homewood downtown. He does all the meal preps, smoothies, everything, whether it's keto or not.
Okay.
Now, to me, that's self-care.
That is absolutely self-care. I did this whole episode earlier in 2020 talking to people about running your life sometimes like a corporation. And let me tell you what I mean. One of the things corporations do is that if let's say I don't know, let me see. Let's say I'm an engineer, but I'm a business. So what parts of business do we have? We have marketing, we have accounting, we have all these different things. What if I only know engineering? Well, I either could stretch myself really thin and try to be all these different things that I need to be, or I can outsource. And this is why we sometimes need to run ourselves like a business, meaning, okay, I'm really good at this, but I need this done too, and I need this done too. And so many times we want to be a superhero. We want to be everything, and we brag about it. Come on. That's something I've been telling people, deaf to the superhero in you. The need to be everybody. Remember, I love Whitney Houston, but Shaka Khan, I love them all. But that whole I'm every woman, miss me with that. Okay, sorry, miss me with
like
that.
The song.
I love the song, but I just don't need. It was so much pressure, and it's subconscious. We don't realize it. We celebrate the overburdened, overwhelmed, poor too thin person. We don't realize we do it, but we do it. We applaud the person that says that, oh yeah, I cook, I clean, I do this. I got 17 businesses. I run a charity on the side. I do this and that. I run every morning. I do this. We applaud that person. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not. It's not an ounce of hate in me. I've done this before, but I've done it so much so that it's almost like it's performance anxiety that's attached to it. It's perfectionism that has to be there. And so one of the things I'm learning is to say that, I don't have to do it all. And certain things I outsource. So like you were saying, you're talking about meal prepping. If that's something that you don't want to have to do, yes, you need to outsource and have somebody do that for you so you can spend your brain power and your energy on your full purpose and do what you do best, right? I tell people all the time, I can clean. My mother taught me how to cook and clean, all that stuff. I like cooking. It's therapeutic for me. But cleaning, sometimes I'm talking about I don't like washing baseboards. Can I be honest here? I don't like it. I don't like washing walls. I don't like the deep cleaning we have to do. I don't like none of that. I do it. I don't enjoy it. There's some people that do enjoy it. Some people clean and say, "Oh, this makes me feel good." Right, that might be you. It's not me, right? So I'm getting me a maid. Somebody, I get somebody to come in once a month and do a deep cleaning. And when I start making a little bit more money, they're gonna come in every week.
Come on, girl.
And so the thing about it, and we as as people need to understand what it is. It's not a one size fit all. I love it when everybody's giving their version of self-care, and the nails and the hair, all that stuff is wonderful and beautiful. And I'm not taking away from any of that. But some of it is, like you said, getting a meal prep, getting somebody to come in, or even like I know a girlfriend of mine, she's the first person who put me onto it because she had 2 kids, a husband, a business that she started, and she was working in corporate America. She's doing so many things. And she said the guilt that came along with admitting that she needed a maid or somebody to help me come and do some of the work in the house, the guilt that came along with it was deafening until she was talking to her therapist. And they said, that doesn't make you less than because you need help. And so, again, let's talk about why we have a problem doing self care. It's a self worth issue. I feel like I should be able to do it all. And so I don't say no when somebody asks me because I don't want them to look at me as being selfish or not being kind. When somebody asks me to do something I know that's going to put me over the edge, I still say yes. Why? Because I'm a little bit people pleaser still.
And we're not octopuses, y'all. Come on now.
And you know what is, and I feel like it's so much pressure with it. That's some real detoxing that has to happen. Because let me tell you something. It is not easy to say your first no. I remember my first time I said no, and I heard about this boundaries thing. I think I told you about the book last time, Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. Amazing book. First time I said no, I cried. Do you hear me?
Mm.
It was that deep for me. And I tried to figure out, I said, why did I cry? And what it was that it was a conflict with my inner self. My inner self told me I'm a good person, and a good person will do anything they can for everybody else. So if they gave me a good story, or if I felt like it was need there, I was gonna almost break myself to help them. And that was very unhealthy and toxic because it was feeding something inside of me that wasn't whole.
So self care is also balance.
Listen,
Come
it's
on, let's go
absolutely
there.
balance. It's absolute balance. We cannot keep operating in extremes. I'm fully against extremes, right? I believe we talk about, if you guys don't remember, my whole show is on mental health advocacy and actually thinking about these things for ourselves and removing the stigma from mental health and understanding it's just the same thing as going to see a heart doctor, to see your eyeglasses doctor, all that. It's the same thing. And so when we talk about self care, self love, self worth, it's about understanding that I don't want you going too far to the left or too far to the right. Um, you know, I had this other thought the other day, and I heard somebody say it, and I didn't like it, and it bugged me until I remembered to understand it was this. Someone said, sometimes you got to be selfish. And it struck a chord with me, and I'm like, I don't like the word selfish because it has a negative connotation, right? So I said, I understand what they're trying to say, right? I get it. I understand what they're trying to say. But then I started looking at how two-dimensional we are. What do I mean by that? We either think it has to be selfish or selfless. Like it's only one or the other,
One or
right?
the other. Mm-hmm.
And that's not life. You know, it's not life. So the point of me saying that is to say there's so much on the spectrum. Those are two extremes. You're either selfish or you're selfless. And I feel like we shouldn't be either. Sorry. No, neither. You need to be somewhere in the middle. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like different things for different people. But some kind of way you should understand. I don't want you to be selfish and only think about yourself and forget everybody else. You'll step all over everybody to do whatever you need to get. You shouldn't be that person. But you also shouldn't be the self-sacrificing, hang yourself on the cross and put nails in
Right.
your back to do everything for everybody all the time. That's
Right.
not
Because
it either.
I'm the person now. If I say yes, I'm gonna do something. It might not be today. I give you time and when. Or
Mm-hmm.
give me to this day, or
Mm-hmm.
give me to this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into that now.
Okay.
Um, and then people also being mindful of my time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a stickler. for time. I don't like the late thing.
Yes. Yes.
I,
Yes. It's
I don't like the
disrespectful. Yes.
respect my time. Like they say,
Respect my time.
when they say respect on my name. I'm not old girl who say redeeming the time. I don't need y'all to redeem the time. I just need y'all to be on time.
Exactly.
That's part of my self care.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I like to think of balance,
Yes.
mental awareness. I think those things come first before hair and nails and toes. Because guess what, y'all? You getting your nails done, walking out, still the same attitude. You getting your feet done and you're walking away angry. Come on. You getting your hair done and your man ain't right.
And this is the difference between transactional and a regimen. A lot of times we're doing surface stuff. You look beautiful, but you sad, you depressed, you depleted.
And you need to deal with some stuff, and that stuff is you. Let's deal with you.
Yes, and that's the self-aware piece. It's about, I told somebody the other day, let's stop looking the part and actually play the part. There's too many people that's worrying about how well it's put together and looks. Scratch all that. I want you to get to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm not okay today. And that's okay. But I'm going to work on this thing. I'm going to do whatever I need to. I'm going to get the resources necessary. If I need to go to a therapist, and y'all know I highly, highly, highly recommend. Matter of fact, I think one of the highest self-care things you can do for yourself is getting a therapist. And I still hear people say stuff like, well, you know, they might need it. Listen, and let me help y'all. I'm going to give y'all a couple of things to let y'all know if y'all need a therapist. Here we go. Number one, if you African American, you need a therapist.
You need a therapist.
Because you suffer from PTSD from slavery, whether you acknowledge it or not. Okay? All right. Number two, if you have any children at all, you need therapy. Childbirth is traumatic. Whether or not you had a good one or not, it's a lot. And nobody teaches us how to do this. So a lot of times we're trying to do something we didn't even see, or we're doing it how somebody else's. We saw them do it, and it might or might not be right. And then now our kids get older and they say things like, oh, this hurt me, this and that. You're like, how? And now we're dealing with identity stuff because, well, I didn't know. I only did what I knew. And now you're dealing with that. I see it all the time. So you need a therapist.
Let me make this point.
Yes.
You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com, where we stream live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where we maintain to feed your brain. Anything that you hear here on the Soulful Stimulation show may not be the views or the decisions or how IntellectualRadio.com feel. So just so you know that we're expressing our own views and opinion here. But you are listening to IntellectualRadio.com, where we stream live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where we maintain to feed your brain. And you're listening to Soulful Stimulation with Chevelle Simone. I'm here with Paris Johnson. Number three,
if you ever lived in poverty, if you were never born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you need therapy.
You need several.
Listen, and number four, if you ever had your heart broken and told yourself you would never be in a relationship again, you would never open. If you ever use those words, you need therapy. And I know y'all thinking, well, Dad, she's just really trying to act like we all messed up. No, what I'm saying is, it's not about being messed up. It's about saying, I love myself enough to go ahead and get the help I need to help me be the best version of me. I heard somebody say this. It was a really good thing someone said the other day. They said that they went and someone said, the guy signed up for a therapist. And they were like, you're good. Why are you signing for a therapist? You seem well adjusted in life. You're a good employee. You're a good husband. You're a good father. You seem like a good friend. Why are you in therapy? And he said, well, yeah, I am all of those things. He said, but I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great father. I want to be a great friend. I want to be a great person. And then, I thought that was all of it. I was like, that's great. And then the therapist, when they told the therapist this, and they said, well, that sounds like those are the roles you play. And the problem is if you're coming here to be better at the roles you play, who are you under those roles? Who are you removed from those things? And honestly, she said that was what therapy is really about. You figuring out who you are without having to be all those things, stripping away all of those things and just really figuring out who you are at a base level and then rebuilding from there.
Right. You could be the doctor, you could be the nurse, you could be the scientist, you could be the engineer, you could be the coach. You can be the teacher, you can be the professor, you can be the gym instructor, you can be all of that. But who are you as a person? And starting there, knowing who you are outside of those job descriptions, because there's a job description attached to all of that. Knowing who you are first is self-care,
It is.
self-awareness, who you are, what triggers you, what make you mad, what you like. I went through this, guys. Married for 15 years. I didn't do what I like to do. I did things, and I know people say this is what you're supposed to do. I'm just saying what I did. I did whatever my husband wanted to do to make him happy. But when I divorced, I'm like, oh my God. And I got married young, guys. 25, 26. I was with him 20 years, but was, married 15. And it's like, now I'm divorced. I'm like, what do I like to do? Guys took me on dates like, you want to go? I don't know if I like to do that. I have to find myself even now. I only got one person in my life that surprises me with stuff, and I just giggle. And they're trying to find out what I like through my personality, and I just go like Betty Rubble. So it's like we need to find out who we are. I was a wife.
Yes.
I knew who I was as an intercessor, and I knew how to push people as an intercessor. I was a wife. I was a mother. Yeah, I was Chevelle with the mouth, but who was my heart?
And I love that you're so transparent and told your story like that, because that's something I see so often is we lose ourselves in these roles. We lose ourselves in these roles. And someone might say, well, yeah, you're supposed to cater to your marriage. And I'm not saying you can't. But what people forget is that your name did not become so-and-so's wife only. That's what your role was in that situation. You were still Chevelle. And the reality is that sometimes we put 100% into that role and we're not fortifying the person under it. And that's the part that we forget. I remember I had a friend, and I remember I asked one day, I was in the house and asking them, they talking, and I'm like, some what the parents' name is, and they were like, oh, we just call her mom. And then we just, we called dad. And I thought it was cute at first, like it's cute. And then I was just like, and then the more I was around, they only referred to themselves as mom. I mean, literally, the parents did too, mom and dad. And I was just like, and then out in the streets, and like, I think someone was talking about the kid didn't even know their mom's real name. And I just said, I have issues with it. I'm telling you, I was a single mom, and it's not something I, tried to be, but it happened. And I remember the first time I went on my own trip, my son was 5. And so my mom got married young, and in 19 and 21, my mom and dad got married, and they had 4 children. So they didn't do all that, right? And so when I went on this trip, I decided to go on my first international trip, and I remember it was like, oh my God, you're gonna leave your son, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do all that, and I remember so much guilt I felt about it. But I knew, and hear this. It didn't have to be a trip where it was at, but I knew in that moment I needed to do this for me. Because if I didn't do it for me, I possibly became resentful towards my son and being a mother. I knew that I needed a break away from my child. Appreciate y'all trips with y'all kids. I appreciate it. That's beautiful. But I didn't want to go to Disney World. I needed to do something for me. And so I remember I went against the grain of what everybody that in my life thought. And they really I'm sure they wanted to judge me. But I took a stand and I said, you know what? I need to make sure Paris is okay. Because I'm not just Makai's mother. I'm also still Paris. I got to take care of this woman here. I'm still learning who she was. I had a baby at 21. I was far from grown. Okay, I'm trying to learn who I am. Let me fortify her. Because then when she's doing well, I could be the best mother I can be. And I gave myself permission. And you know what? It's funny. I told all my friends, I said, hey, take the trip with the hubby and the babies. That's wonderful. But then you take your trip with you. And maybe you can't go to Jamaica. Maybe you can't go to Miami with the girls. But maybe you just got to get a hotel room downtown.
Girl, maybe I'll go over to Oakbrook.
Okay. All right. And do you just a spa day? And I mean, yes, we're talking about self-care is more than just a spa day. But what we're talking about is fortifying, pouring back in, Not letting that inner person be depleted because you think that, oh, I'm a mother now, I can never. I'm a father now, I can never. I'm a shoot. I don't want to go to here, but I've even talked to some people that's in ministry. I'm a pastor now. I can't do these things. I understand it's a plot, but you still have to take care of that person under that title. You are a person, and if you don't take care of that person, you're gonna find this clash with your inner and what the world sees you as, and then that's when you see unfortunate stories happen. Where, oh, remember Robin Williams?
Mm-hmm.
So happy, so happy, so happy. How could he commit suicide?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about that pastor that committed suicide not too long ago?
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is real. We got to take care of that person inside of us. So sometimes we're so good at taking care of everybody else and we neglect this. And I think that is a travesty.
And one of the things too, the scripture Bible talks about how we should meditate on His word day and night.
Mm-hmm.
And if at night, I'm gonna say at night,
Mm-hmm.
when I meditate on the word day and night, I get it because He's gonna deal with me
Mm-hmm.
about me,
Yeah.
about who I am,
Yeah.
my shortcomings,
Mm-hmm.
my faults, and I have to open myself to yield. Say, Lord, I want to change.
Yeah.
I need help. I
Yeah.
need You.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the more we meditate,
Yeah.
God can deal with the inner. Not only God can deal with it,
Yeah.
you can too.
And that's if you lower yourself, your posture.
Mm-hmm.
You have to lay prostrate.
Get low. Get low.
You have to be vulnerable before Him.
Get low.
Because if you come like you know everything, or I got it, or this and that, that's how you're not gonna get anywhere with that. It becomes you go to be you unclothed, right? But it's like the same way before you go for God, you're supposed to unclothe and get there so He can deal with that issue. He won't deal with a heart issue if you pretend like you don't have one.
Mm-hmm. So you owe it to yourself. Self-worth, you owe it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You owe it to yourself,
Yeah,
to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is going to take care of you like you.
Nobody.
Holistically, your mind, your body,
Mm-hmm.
your soul, your spirit.
Yes.
Don't wait till you get to the doctor and he say you got high blood pressure, you got high cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
No, take care of these things
Daily.
as often as you think of it. Just take care of it. Let's talk about this shirt you got on before we move on. Embrace the peculiar,
Yes.
which means distinctive in nature or character.
Yes. This is one of my shirts, and the reason that I came up with this is sometimes we let people make us feel like we have to assimilate, and that I always talk about the you are enough, but if you don't believe you are enough, it's because usually you don't think that you line up or you're in alignment with everybody else. And I'm just telling you, you don't have to be. I've always been a little different.
Against the fray.
I always have been, and you know what? I at first it bothered me because I felt like everybody thought I was, weird, and I was trying to just be somewhere else. I used to even, let me tell you something. I used to go to parties when I got to college, and then people would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell them I saw you at the church at the party," and I'm like, but that's the pastor daughter. How you gonna tell on me? Or I'm just being honest. They always pick me out. Like I had to have a higher standard. I now know why.
And women know why. We are of higher standards. So don't just be anywhere.
No. But I'm just being honest about how I'm just saying I never quite fit in. Mm-hmm. Even when I used to try to date, it was always different. Everybody used to be in these relationships. They was all cuffed up. And that was just, I say I was always the awkward one out. And I thought it was something that was wrong with me, right? Mm. I did. I thought something was wrong with me.
And did that set in rejection and abandonment?
Of course it was.
I know, bro.
And let me be clear. A lot of us battle with the self-care is because of a bit of the rejection and the abandonment and just the not being taken care of at a deep level. So I think I started to realize when I became in high school and I started to embrace who I was. So like the little stuff, I remember I couldn't afford a link necklace. So I remember I put some what's those things called? Paper clips.
Girl, no,
Yeah,
you didn't.
I did. I promise you I did. I found some different color paper clips and I made me a little necklace and put it around my thing. I know. And I went to Julian High School. I know they was looking at me
Listen.
like this girl's crazy. But let me tell you something. On a realistic level, I feel good about it. I feel I was different. I didn't look like everybody else. And in that moment in my life, I started to embrace the weirdo that I thought I was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was weird, but guess what? I just realized I was peculiar.
Yeah.
And we're all peculiar in some way, right? And I just realized that if you learn to embrace that part of you and stop rejecting it, because a lot of us self-reject. A lot of us reject ourselves. We're so harsh on
And then
ourselves.
stop trying to be somebody else. Self-care is being you.
Well, that's it. But if you don't believe that you are enough,
Mm.
if you always trying to be somebody else, you're always trying to reach this other level. This is called self-acceptance. When you get to a point where you say that, as I told somebody, I'm put that on a shirt too. Y'all don't take my shirt. Y'all say it. I heard it on here first. I'm gonna put a shirt on this saying "as is."
Is that ASS?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. But I mean,
Girl, I can just see that now. ASS is with a little arrow.
oh, Lord.
Yes, honey.
No,
Flat,
you try to make me
flat.
be now you about to get my mother Evangelist Johnson on the show. No, but like the idea, the car, they tell you when you buy the car, it's as is. There's no warranty. They're not gonna fix anything with it. When you buy it, it's as is. And I want people to love themselves as is. And so this is what this is about. Embrace your peculiar. And if you ever want to get the shirt, you can go on my website. Can I say it?
Yes.
www.parispjohnson.com, and you can I have a couple different shirts on there, but yeah, that's why I want everybody to embrace their peculiar. It's important.
Wow. Valerie Ruffin says self-care is a necessity for me. It can't be an asset to anyone until I'm the greatest asset to myself. Facts. All right now.
Yes.
Latanya Sheard says it's necessary because I have to know how to love myself enough to maintain my appearance. I meal prep, I get my nails done and my feet done once a month, facial care and body maintenance as needed. Okay. Latrice said it's a luxury to our social emotional well-being and a necessity to health, mental, psycho, social, emotional well-being. Girl, listen, call me with the definitions of all that. Okay. That was mental, social, emotional learning right there. Right there, everything Latrice said. Then Misha said, it is definitely a necessity. If we don't take care of ourselves, we won't be good for anyone else. Love you, Sherelle Simone. I love you too, Misha.
That's all so real. And I'm gonna finish up with this little statement. What another reason you'll know that you're not really embracing it is because I almost looked jealous at one point. And I wasn't, but what it was is I would see somebody going to do spa stuff, or they want to get their hair done every 2 weeks, and I just be like, oh, they high maintenance. I'm just gonna tell on me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they high maintenance. They just got to be all done up, and this is all they superficial. And I'll be honest, what I would think. I might not say it, but I was thinking it. And I used to say, I'm not gonna be that. I don't need all that. I'm just good as I am. And I remember saying that about somebody that I knew was not superficial. And I remember in my head, like, God, why did I say that? What is that about? I'm like, I know I'm not jealous of them. It's not it, but what is it? And he revealed that thing to me. So y'all can ask God to reveal certain things in your heart to you. He let me know the reason that she triggers you so much is because she believes that she's worth the fuss and you don't believe you are.
Wow. I really like that.
And I used to always brag and say I was low maintenance. I used to tell it to men. Can you believe that? I used to be on dates for like, I'm a real low maintenance type of girl. What was going on with me? I was so messed up in that moment where
like treat me basic. No, honey, I am not low maintenance. All you men out there, you would not be treating me basic.
Well, listen, in my mind, I thought that was a quality because I was like, well, I don't need to be, this and that. I don't need all that stuff. I don't need all that stuff. And I know what I was trying to do. But do you see the hurt that was under it and the lack of identity under it? So now me stepping into the fullness of who I am, I realize I don't have to attack the idea of other women taking care of themselves or men for that whole part, people that's taking care of themselves. When I take care of myself, if you in my presence, I'm going to require you to.
That's right.
Okay. I don't let people around me get depleted. I've seen people say, I'm going to do this for you. I say, hey, wait a minute. What's going on? I look and I say, oh, you don't look right. Something going on. And even if they don't want to tell me what's going on, I stop them in their tracks and make them take care of them. You don't need to do this for me right now. You don't need to do that for anybody. You need me to pick your kid up? Let me go do this. You need some food? I'm going to cook tonight. Why? Because when you're in my environment, I should be I should take the temperature of the environment and see what's going on. And if it's not right, we shouldn't even be comfortable. You shouldn't be okay with your friend, your sister girl, people in your
Self-check
life.
and sister check.
Listen, you shouldn't be comfortable with somebody depleting and pouring it out till they empty. It's time for us to take care of ourselves, and then in turn, we make sure the people around us are taken care of. And it's the gift that never stops giving.
And it should flow.
It should flow effortlessly.
Effortlessly.
You'll start to realize when you're in the right circles, you'll realize they won't let you be depleted. You don't let them be depleted. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. They'll even give to you when you don't even realize that you almost there. Like, I'm like, well, I didn't even think I was doing, because we get so used to what we do. We always in a row. I have some people call me and tell me, what you doing? You need to go to sleep. I'm like, I'm a whole grown woman. But okay, I'm about to go to bed in about 15 minutes.
I am about to start a movement that calls She Shares, She Cares.
I love that.
And I want women to post and hashtag She Cares, She Shares. I want you to take your sisters, daughters, or whoever to get their nails done, a massage. Just pay it forward.
Yeah.
I want to pay the self-care forward.
Yes, yes.
Because a lot of times we can't even enjoy the self-care because of the money. I want y'all to hear me.
Yes, yes.
We cannot enjoy self-care sometimes, getting our nails done like, now let me see how much this going to be, and I got to see how much this going to cost.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to start a movement, guys. I want y'all to help me. Hashtag She Cares, She Shares. And we're going to start a whole movement, not just me by myself. We as women, we as sisters, we're going to take each other out.
Yes.
And I want to see pictures. Let's take each other out. I'm caring. I'm sharing because I want to take this off my sister mind.
Yes.
I want to take it off your mind.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful.
That's one of the things that we can do. I know COVID is going on, but when you bless someone and you bless on good ground, it comes back 100-fold. Some 20, some 30, some 100-fold. But I'm decreeing and declaring that if you do it and you do it in the right spirit with the right heart, I decree and declare that it comes back 100-fold. She cares and she shares.
I love it. I'm gonna do it.
I am starting the movement. Yes. Come on with me, guys. So now it's time for Soulful 7 with Chevelle Simone. Okay, you talked about travels. Let me hear what you got to say about this. Adventurous vacations or relaxing vacations?
I'm not a relaxing vacations.
Pina colada or margarita?
Pina colada.
Really?
I used to love margaritas. Now I'm a pina colada.
I love pina coladas. Girl, one time they gave me one, and it was not a virgin one. Girl, you already see my spirit.
Exactly.
I done went crazy in the Red Lobster years ago. Road trip or airplane?
Airplane.
Oh,
see, wow. I said that fast. I don't know road trips.
Southwest or United Airlines?
Southwest.
Group coaching or one-on-one?
Oh, if it's me, for me, that's one-on-one.
What you're doing?
Yeah, but I love group coaching now.
Okay, good. Work from home or office setting?
Work from home.
Yeah, we're all at that stage right now.
Yes, but I'm going back in the office, but
summer dresses or tank top and shorts?
Summer dresses, girl. You gotta get that summer dress together.
I'm not a t-shirt girl.
You know what? I'm becoming one, believe it or not.
So I see everybody got t-shirts with sayings on it.
Yeah.
You know, looking all cute. I'm not a t-shirt girl.
That's okay, girl. Be who you are.
I wish they could have blouses with sayings on or cute little dresses with sayings, but I'm not, you know, don't give me no t-shirt.
Listen, my mom not a t-shirt person, but she'll buy my t-shirts to support, but
I'm getting one like Erica Golden got.
Listen.
I'm getting that t-shirt. I'm stealing everything that say on that t-shirt. Hotel or Airbnb?
I'm going to say hotel.
Okay, and with this newfound you,
yes,
What stimulates Paris?
Deep, constructive, and future-focused conversation.
Great. Can you tell us about your show?
Yes.
When it airs, how they can find you, and your website?
Yes, I do a show called Conversations from Paris every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am currently on both Facebook Live and I'm on YouTube, both under the show titled Conversations from Paris. So you can find me under both. And then my website is www.parispjohnson.com. Again, that's www.parispjohnson.com. And it's just a show about mental health, breaking the stigma for mental health, and being your own mental health advocate.
And how to be holistic. The
Absolutely.
holistic you.
Being the whole
Authentic
person.
you.
Absolutely.
And can they get your t-shirts on there too?
Absolutely. All my shirts are on here. You can purchase any of them. And I even have a website, conversationsfromparis.com. But right now I'm still doing that. So it's just pointing to my to the actual show. But yeah.
And can they reach you on Facebook for Facebook Live as well?
Absolutely.
And where's that?
No, it's under Conversations from Paris. My show is under Conversations from Paris on Facebook and on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm everywhere. I'm even on TikTok. That's something that's I'm on TikTok. I'm doing pretty good on that and enjoying the idea of that.
Join it.
Yes.
I am so glad that you all have been faithful in supporting me here on Soulful Stimulation with Chevelle Simone with my new time and new day on Monday nights at 7:00 p.m. But guess what? The station didn't change, girl. The station has not changed.
Okay.
Just the day and time.
Yes.
Do you know what station you're on?
IntellectualRadio.com.
You got to get close to the mic, girl.
IntellectualRadio.com.
Yes, girl. Where we stream live what?
24/7.
Oh, you better ask somebody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember, self-care is not just hair.
No.
Self-care is not just your nails, but it also has to do about your mental health, your balance, and guarding your heart. Thank you so much for tuning in today on Soulful Stimulation with your girl here, Chevelle Simone. I will see you guys next week on Monday nights at 7:00 p.m. here on IntellectualRadio.com. God bless you. Bye.